Dekada 70 was a film that I was preparing for. They said that I'm not doing the film anymore because I have to do this series called Pangako Sa'yo with Christine Hermosa. And I was so pissed off. To this day, I haven't watched Dekada 70 because of that reason. But I didn't realize that that would change my life, basically. Because I was the bad guy. I left. Not to sound ungrateful, I'm super thankful, grateful, glad. But no one would understand why I would leave such a successful tandem at a very, very beautiful time, like super peak time of a career, and pursue something different. Hello everyone, this is Jericho Rosales and this is Rolling Stone Philippines Greatest Hits. Dekada 70 was a film that I was preparing for. They pulled me out after major immersion. I was in EDSA, I was doing the rallies and stuff during that time. And they said that I'm not doing the film anymore because I have to do this series called Pangako Sa'yo with Christine Hermosa. And I was so pissed off. I was really annoyed. To this day, I haven't watched Dekada 70 because of that reason. Because it was film, and then I was gonna do TV, but I didn't realize that that would change my life, basically. I did that, and it opened doors for me regionally. It was sold to North America, it was sold to Africa, it was sold to a lot of parts in Asia, and I had a sort of second home in Malaysia. And I did a bunch of shows there for cable and free TV. During that time, it was a ratings game. Walang social media metrics or things like that. It was just viewership. I remember the highest was at least 51% of television owners were watching Pangako Sa'yo. It was really huge. It was a huge hit. Yeah, it brought commercials, it brought other opportunities for me. It really changed my life. So because of that, I was really grateful. We had a big following in terms of like love teams. That show was the peg and the template to most of the romantic teleseries here in the Philippines. Because I was the bad guy, I left. Not to sound ungrateful, I'm super duper thankful, grateful, glad. But it was like a giant ball of frustration, and I thought that fandom from the love team, that huge support from the love team was also gatekeeping me, or like was the huge block in where my artist wanted to go. So there was no other way but to hurt that beast and run away from it. Because no one would understand why I would leave such a successful tandem and at a very, very beautiful time, like super peak time of a career, and pursue something different. I just knew that my dream was to play different roles that would be in a different spectrum. And that was the only way. That's why I said I'm kind of like the bad guy. Because there was one time a fan came up to me and said, because I left the love team, they said, why don't you fix your life? In my head, now I'm thinking, I'm fixing my life. I fixed my life because there's so much anger and frustration that I couldn't deal with it. I don't have a strong opinion on love teams. I actually encourage us to keep using it as a shade or a color of identity para sa culture natin, because it's a part of Filipino film culture or TV culture. Love teams. It's just like how one artist should navigate. Yun ang big question. There is no way out. That there's no peaceful way out. There's going to be pain, there's going to be disappointment in the eyes of the audience when people break up, especially if it's a real one, like a true one. Ours was like hard because we became like a real couple in time na yun. So parang doblehin mo pa yung yung disappointment and pain ng mga followers ganyan. But there's no way to properly end a love team, but a mutual respect and words from both parties saying it's time for us to part ways. But even if we had that, people will always have their opinion. But for me, it's more of like on the other side. People should stop saying, it's too cheesy, or it's too this, or it's too that, or it's too, it's like a part of it. It's engraved in our, not just our culture, but the way we see, this unit, our family. Doon na naman nanggagaling yan eh. Our dreams to never separate, our dreams to never be torn, and it starts from the house, diba? We don't want to be a broken home. So yeah, we cheer for them, we root for them, and ganyan. I mean, for goodness sake, we win awards as love teams and stuff. So I mean, I'm a product of that, and I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Yeah, it's just the price I have to pay.
Wala naman sa tono eh. Brad?
It was my first attempt on learning how to be a good producer, not just on the financial side of it. It was a very, very, very small film. Like everyone who was involved in the film, from Ian, the director, and then our producers then, and me, that changed me as a creative and as an artist. The script came to me without lines, without dialogue, and Ian was like one of the most unbelievable directors I've ever worked with, and because he just had this trust in me, whoever was going to play my son, and said that the lines are yours. Kung ano man lumabas na linya dyan. The first step was to read the script, understand the script, put myself in that, okay, try to imagine, have I ever lost a child, a son, to a syndicate? It was my version of Taken before Taken was taken. And then the second part was to look for the actor who actually could, who could actually like work with me and come up with lines of his own, parang ganyan. So you're voicing and producing verbal work dun sa script na yun. Rehearsals was so for me as an artist, the process was so beautiful and so magical that I can't work any other way. And I could not anymore see a different way of working, but to collaborate with the director and the actor and the producers and the location and everything that was involved in filmmaking. And then the money part was kind of like the blur for me, because it's just the beauty of projects like this is just you just go blind in terms of the money part. So that's why I'm so grateful for these producers that I work with, because they're the real mothers of every project that I work on. And then full speed ahead, and then we were just creating, and then we finished the film in less than 15 days. And the next thing you know, it was traveling, it was working really hard in festivals, and it was making people cry. Every time I would preview the film, it made me cry. And then after the film had finished its run, I said, this is it. I'm forever going to be a hunter. I'm forever going to be a filmmaker in my own way. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning of understanding how difficult and how wonderful it is to be a filmmaker. Pusong Ligaw was supposed to be for a show in ABS-CBN that got rejected. I was commissioned to write the song, and then I submitted it, and then unfortunately they had picked a different song for that show. And so I went home and I said, it wasn't accepted. I released it as a single, and now it's Pusong Ligaw. So I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you, but it was based on the lyrics, the story was based on a show that I did. So, tuloy-tuloy na. And now I've accepted that, okay, there's going to be music and there's going to be performing, acting. I remember having a lot of negative feedback from the music industry, becoming a performer or a singer. Someone from, the world of writing had told me, why would you want to be that? You're earning a good amount of money. Why would you want to be just a singer or just ano? And I was like, that's hilarious. And then the others would say, mag-artista ka na lang. Mga ganon, diba? But it's normal. And I don't hate that. I don't hate that anymore, that experience. But me wanting to be in music happened because, one, I had the ability to write lyrics. And I was commissioned to write lyrics for the soap operas that I did. I just didn't talk about it. I did a song called Bumuhos Man ng Ulan. It was for the show Green Rose with Ann Curtis. And Dahil sa Pag-ibig, the show with Piolo Pascual. I had a band called Jeans. And it was all original songs, 13 original songs that I wrote during my rebel days. I was just writing and writing. That was my happy place. I would pay 150 pesos at a studio in Nepa Q Mart, come out of the studio with a song, drink gin with my band, and make music. And that was the happiest version of myself. I had to go to Malaysia. EMI Malaysia was the place. They accepted the album and they released it in Malaysia. It's so funny, and it's not here. I had to do a tour, a bar tour. I remember bars here in Manila. Ratsky was a big part of that. Small bars, big bars, bars in Subic, bars in the provinces. I would get paid so little by being a musician, but I was so fulfilled and I was so happy. That experience was like electrifying. It was like so natural. And I was moving, I was like covering the stage, and I was making sure that everyone's having fun. I was having fun, the band was having fun. I just felt like I was, connected to a source, and it was flowing. So I couldn't stop. I really enjoyed stage time, and that was my way of dealing with, the pain of my dreams being silenced. That was my way of releasing, because music was like from my heart, and then I would pen and then I would turn it into a song, and I would be so happy. So the magic in everyday living is experiencing something true, something real, something slow, something where you like really stop. And that's cinema. Real, beautiful stories that came from real experiences is real cinema. Good TV is from good experiences. From people who really actually went out and experienced it. Not from asking ChatGPT or AI creating me like a storyline or a log line or a short synopsis to something, and then let's have our pool of writers write about it. It doesn't. There's going to be something that the experience and the creativity put together that could create something that hasn't been seen, even though it's been done before. Everything has been done. But the experience will be different for every person.
Insecure ka? Ano? May problema ba na CEO ako? Issue ba yun sa'yo?
Bakit mo binabalik palagi ito? Ano pang gusto mo? Ha?
Kasi parang may problema ka eh. Baka kasi
Lavender Fields was one of the opportunities that was presented to me based on my plan. And I said, magmamano tayo. Babalik tayo sa industriya, magmamano tayo. Magbe-bless tayo. Actually, I went to ABS-CBN as a producer, shopping for leading lady for this new movie that we're promoting called The Loved One by Irene Emma Villamor. And I was there in front of the executives saying that this is the actor that I wanted to work with. So I had this whole presentation that we prepared for. They had a deal. He said, of course, I will listen to you, but if you listen to our pitch. So it was like, I pitched first and then they pitched something. So they had pitched two things, one film and one TV. One was Lavender Fields. And then they said it was going to be with Jody Santa Maria and Janine Gutierrez. And I was like, I haven't worked with them. And in my head, okay, great. So people will know that I'm back, I'm acting again. This is my way of saying hello and reintroducing myself. The first offer was 2 weeks lang. Because they know that ayoko na mag-soap opera or mag-series. 2 weeks lang, bookends, beginning and then end. And we went home and we discussed it, and they said, there's also an offer na gawin mo lahat. So they offered it, and I said, great. The story is great, I like it. Sure, there's a danger of like, medyo some, last episodes, hindi pa sulat. Okay lang, kaya natin yan. Sige. because I'm not a fan of unfinished scripts. So I did it, and I enjoyed it. That was the magic. I really enjoyed it. It was a different role for me. It wasn't the same. Sure, it was medyo cheater, kunyari, parang ganun. I've done that many times, but it was kind of different. And there's action, and there's all these new things, and being gray and being, tormented. So I like that. So I did it, and it became very, very successful. They said yesterday that it's still one of 2024's or the recent most successful series of ABS-CBN, alongside Janine's Dirty Linen and other things. I feel like I'm Michael Jordan when I know something really well, and I said I'm gonna play this so well, and that's the image that comes into my head. I am the GOAT, and when you give me a complex character, I will play. For as long as naintindihan ko siya, I will not take on this character if I don't understand it. When Lavender Fields was offered to me, I was very familiar with guilt, to the point that I had an image of guilt in my head. And he had a name, and I knew the pants he wore, the color palette of his outfit, and I would invite him to sit there with me and be in the room with me. And sometimes I would tell him to go out. So that was my friend, because Lavender Fields was about guilt for me. It was about guilt, and it was about something really haunting you, not in a horror setting. Parang ganun. So I had so much fun being weird, but nobody knew I was being weird. So fun is a very important element. If someone on the set is not fun, then I will walk away. It's got to be fun. We can't lose the spirit of fun. That was Lavender Fields for me.
Perception. Ang pagkabayani. It's all about perception.
He's the most unscrupulous comedian I've met.
Chameleon pala, ha?
Quezon, the timing was it was divine. And I was on the set of Lavender Fields when I got a text from Gerald Tarog and said, can I call you? I will step out during dinner break, and let's hop on a call. He said, I have this movie called Quezon. You know Quezon, right? I said, yung 20 pesos. I know Quezon. I live in Quezon City. Yes, so I have a movie, and here's the catch. I said, what? Your second choice. It's like, fuck that. I don't care about that. The fact that you called me is like, yeah, I'll do it. Don't you even want to read the script? I was like, oh yeah. Let me read the script. Because it's Gerald. I had auditioned for General Luna 10 years ago, and I've been wanting to work with him, and now it's happening, and he's calling me to play the role and not to audition. I said, this is just the most beautiful thing, because he offered me Quezon. And so we met, and then he gave me things to read. It was a lot. I will admit, I didn't get to read everything, but I read the script many times. I was like, this is the project that we've been waiting for. It's once in a blue moon that you receive something like that. It was perfect. I had no comments. It was with DBA. It was a perfect project. Loved everything about it. I prepared, and then we worked on it. Now, we're going to Rotterdam because it's going to be featured. So I'll be there to attend screenings and Q&A, and it's already left a mark and creating big things for everyone who's a part of it. Character was the problem, was the challenge, more of like a problem. It was the good problem, it was the challenge. I do not know this person. He's been dead for over a century, and what do I know about him? Good news, there are books to read, pictures to look at, but very little videos to work with. Very little. Second challenge was when I listened to his voice, I was like, huh? It doesn't match the way he looked, the way he dressed. And then I was like, oh my God. And then there's another one, he had a bigger forehead than my current forehead, meaning like hairline. So I was like, how do we do this? And then he was 4 inches shorter than I am. It's 5'6". So there were these physicalities that I thought would be very, very challenging. So that was the first journey. I had to change the voice. So I had to work on the voice, and it was another journey. I had to call my friends from the music industry and ask about how to achieve his voice. head tone, a little this, a little of the, kung ano yung uso nung panahon na yun, the way they spoke, the transatlantic kind of choo-choo with pagka-Filipino, he's from Baler, and then, but he would give speeches, he had asthma, or he had, a lung problem. So all of those things, played a part in the volume and the thickness and the quality of his voice. I believe that we came up with something that was easily digestible, entertaining, and at the same time believable. But after that, one question was, is this going to be okay? And we all said, everything's in the book. Lahat yan nakasulat sa you're just, so we are free to create something beautiful. We're not trying to destroy anything. We're just telling a story through cinema. And the rest was just fun as a character. Somehow, I got to find enough that I could work with to portray this gigantic, this larger-than-life character. Then another surprise, Ian Glenn. I was like, oh my God. I was dying. His voice and his presence, and he's just, then we got to the set to rehearse, and he's just a wonderful artist. So generous and so magnetic. The mere fact that everyone loved it, the mere fact that everyone said, thank you for making a movie like this. And not just from but even from the people from Quezon understood it. They appreciated the movie, the message of the movie. It was understood that it wasn't about canceling anyone. So yun, I really don't feel any pressure from the industry. I've learned to let go, and it's not an easy thing because it's scary, it's risky. I only took risks because I believed in myself, and I believed in my destination, and I believed in the desire that was planted in me, came from, the divine. The constants of this industry, like fear of being judged, fear of being forgotten, the fear of making a mistake, the fear of looking imperfect, the fear of looking old, the fear of looking stupid, the fear of looking like you don't know what you're doing or you don't know anything, the fear of being left behind. It's a constant thing in this industry, and it hits you all the time. But it just goes like this to me now because I've learned to accept the fact that I'm here because I like to be here. I'm here because I follow a star that was given to me, and that star would always be, ahead of me. And for as long as that thing's burning, and I would just keep going. I'm not saying I don't feel fear or anything like that. It's just that I know how to deal with it now.
For me, saying I love you has become a question.
People are asking me after Quezon, what are you gonna do? I'm still gonna do. I'm still gonna work on projects that I feel like may connection sa akin. And the loved one, it's a must-do. And hopefully it's a must-see for people who are trying to make sense of growth in a relationship, of growing as a person in a relationship setting and in a solo setting. I truly enjoyed watching a version of myself in this movie. I'm so happy that Anne's in the right place in understanding this project of Irene. It's humbling. And it's enriching for me to have done something like this again. Humbling because I never thought that for a long period of time I've said no love stories because I'm just not in the mood for that. If you just give everything that comes your way a chance and look at it really deeply, it has touched areas of myself and my life that I didn't realize I would get from that movie. The satisfaction of actually knowing myself again and being familiar with these feelings again. Andun sa pelikula na yun. Enriching because I can't say the same things I said about love stories before again now. You just can't minimize it. That's how powerful it is. Yeah. And plus, everyone's gonna go to the cinema. You know, if you're a cool person and you're like, I'll go to the cinema, watch a love story by myself. If you're in love, go to the cinema by myself. If you're a rock star, I'll go to the cinema. Everyone experiences like relationships, you know, everyone experiences like being hurt and being, and for goodness sake, feel good. You know, parang ganon. But at least, I connected with Irene and Anne in this movie. So